Hey, gun people! Oh, Moki doesn't want to be in this video, so he's sitting over here like a good little boy. You see him? He's like, Dad, I don't want to be in this video. Say hi to gun people. Alright. So he may come over and visit me in the middle of this. Sometimes he comes over while I'm talking. So let's talk about this special news release, Catholic edition. All my Catholic people are going there now. That he's picking on the church. Somebody put a comment on my horse channel. Rick hates Catholics. He's so against it. He's so blinded with his disdain for Catholics. Never said I hated Catholics. I think the church is a scam. I think people that belong to it are supporting child molestation. I don't think the people that belong to it and claim to love it so much is holding the people that run it accountable. It's a pedophile haven for people to abuse and children and hide behind the religion, and they hide behind the masses of the people that are telling me I'm the bad guy because I'm keeping this on because I think this is an important topic. I think it's BS. I think anybody that has power and abuses that to take advantage of people that can't fight back, I'm against it. So if that makes me a bad guy I am. So I've done a few videos on this, and every time I think it dies down, this morning, and I'll slide in a couple of these articles. New Jersey. Evidently, after the Pennsylvania report, where there was thousands of victims and 300 priests, thanks to the grand jury, not to mention the people on the grand jury were getting hate from the Catholics saying that they shouldn't have released that report, and they only did it to smear the poor Catholic religion, because not all priests are that way. Look, when you get so many people of one group doing something, like 50% of people commit all the crime, when you get a group like that and then other people are telling you you need to ignore that fact, I think that's stupid. I mean, that's just ignorant. The facts are in front of you. The Catholic Church across, that last video I did, I showed it across Ireland, Australia, England, you name it. They've all got the same problem. That is not isolated. That is not something that you ignore and go, not all Catholics like that. Not all priests. And the snowball is continuing to roll down the hill. New Jersey says, you know what? The Attorney General there, I guess, got over 300 calls or talked to 300 different victims who were abused by Catholic priests. Some of them in their 50s, just coming out, then holding it inside. Okay, whatever. And I'm not saying these priests ought to be necessarily prosecuted because if you waited that long, but crimes against children are a little different than all these women coming out who were adults and then complain about their crime 10 years later, 15 years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, like they did with Bill Cosby. These were all rational adults, had the ability to consent, went over to Cosby's house, took drugs, drank wine, took his money, took the benefit of hanging out with him, and now 30 years later want to cry that, oh, he kissed me and I said no. Rick, you can't say that. Women have rights. I know about women. People have rights, people. So anyway, back to New Jersey. This New Jersey Attorney General opened up a hotline. And I'll put the number in here in case anybody in New Jersey ain't heard about it. I'm sure it's big in New Jersey. And so he opens up this hotline and has a call center for people to call in just about Catholic abuses or anybody that were victims to call into this hotline, and now they have an investigative and they're going to start an investigation like they should have done through the years. And that's what people, the Catholics who are coming here hating on me, don't get. You've had these crimes going on. People have told their parents. They told people and the priests. They went up the chain of command to the people in authority, and it was all ignored, or they were told they were crazy, or you can't talk about the church. That's the problem with protected classes, or people being above the law, or people being in positions to where they cannot be challenged. I just don't get it. But anyway, the call line is so freaking busy, people can't get through. There's people complaining that I keep calling, and it goes 10 rings and says, sorry, all lines are busy. So now they're going to have to expand the call line. They're getting calls by whatever, I don't know how many people they got working or how many, but evidently, and remember, if somebody calls in on a tip line, you got to get quite a bit of information. You got to get about when it happened. Do you know the guy's name? Do you know the priest's name? What pair? So I'm sure they have a checklist that they fill out every time someone calls. And some of the people are going to call, they're going to be emotional, and it's going to be like, this happened to me and I can't believe it. I'm so glad you got this thing. Thank you, thank you. And they, you got to make them feel good. You can't just go, look, don't thank me. The governor did this. I'm just answering the phone. Give me the info. Give me the facts. So you can't do that. So these calls are going to take a little bit of time. So the numbers may be exaggerated because it's taking a long time. But I find it interesting that when government now is asking the question and actually investigating, suddenly it's massive. But for years, and I'm talking about years, like I said, I'll put in that little thing where I went as a Catholic priest to a costume party. Me and my girl that I was dating at the time, she went as a little schoolgirl and I went as a priest. There were some Catholics there that didn't think it was funny at all. I was carrying around Boy's Life. I was drinking wine. She was drinking wine. I was grabbing her skirt. And, we were just having fun. It was an adult Halloween party. We got first place. But there were people that were upset, that were Catholic there, that thought, I shouldn't do that. You know why I did that costume? And that was, hell, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago. You know why I did that costume? Because at that time, it was in the news every day. Catholic priest caught molesting, Catholics this, that. And it was all in California. All these Catholic priests were caught. And you know what? It went away. The Catholics fought back. They stood up for their church. They stood up for the priests in power and said, don't come after us or we'll boycott you. Don't talk about our priests or we won't give you our business. We support our church, and not all priests are like, hi, Moki, you want to come say hi? Moki come around the corner. Dad, are you talking about those crazy Catholic priests? He came home one time with his tail between his legs. I was like, have you been to church? Rick, you can't say it. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm always trying to figure out a way to make some money here, because I'm all about the money. So this is a bulletproof vest for cops. And I've got a few of these laying around that I've had that maybe expired. I keep saying I'm going to do a video and shoot them and see how they hold up because they're 15, 20 years old. So I came out with a new plan to wear these when you go to church. You can buy these for your children. And if you wear them, they're pretty fashionable and they'll protect you against Catholic priests. I was going to put some little signs, no Catholic priests allowed, stay away, exit only, no entry. But, we can make these in lace. I'm telling you, I'm giving somebody $1 million idea. And then the Catholic can kind of adopt this as their new religion. And when people walk in, they can be wearing their vest. And then, for those pesky priests that just can't take a hint with the bulletproof vest, I'm going to sell these extra metal piece protectors that will slide. This is metal, so even it'll stop the most pesky priests from getting through. You ready to go down? Look out! I'm dodging the lightning. Rick, this isn't funny. You shouldn't be laughing. I'm laughing at the absurdity of people that are still defending this and still don't want the truth to come out because the truth makes the Catholic religion look bad. When in fact, it just shows how bad corruption can be when people are blinded and fools and sheep and they follow anybody for any reason and they don't question authority and they don't question people who have power. That's what I'm laughing about, people. Moki came out to say hi. Hi, Moki! He's like, hey, YouTubies. Alright, well, in that there, on the Catholic edition, you can order my All-Pro Super Catholic Protections for $19.95. Just send cash, no checks. I don't want anything tracked. And, well, in that there, Moki, you're a good boy.